welcome to another video, welcome to lockdown. So, what are we going to be talking about? Well, this next clip will explain it. So, in this video I am going to talk mostly about the rebuild process of the Kawasaki ZX9R and all the things that I still have to fix and had to fix, mostly because the condition the bike came in was actually pretty poor, but for the money, totally worth it. So I'm going to take you guys on a small bike tour, talk about the bike, and at the same time at the end I'm going to post the repainting of the side panels or side panel that I am going to do. Yeah, so in January this year, 2020, I went ahead and bought a Kawasaki ZX9R, and yeah, I've been rebuilding it. You wouldn't believe the condition that it's that it's in now, what I actually had to do in order to get it this way. So let's talk about a couple of things that bothered me when I started rebuilding the bike. Well, the guy I bought it from someone else, wanted to put it back together, but his buddy decided that he wasn't going to make his driver's license for motorcycles, and yeah, so he ended up selling the bike really cheap, and I kind of do believe him that he probably overpaid the guy, because if you take a bike apart, people, please, for the love of God, please put everything in little baggies and then label those baggies. And when you're done with whatever else you're doing on the bike, do the same thing again. And if you're going to not continue working on the project and you're going to sell it off, literally the nicest thing you can do to just about anyone who's going to buy this bike, even if it's just for spare parts, is have all the parts. I spent days, or almost weeks, hunting for parts on the internet. It took a long time to find all the parts. Then you start working on the bike, and you found that the entire wiring harness was cut up in places where there shouldn't be any cuts. It's just, you know, at one point or another I did consider rewiring most of it, but till I figure out where all these wires belong, I decided, you know what, for 25 euros, guess what? Bought a new harness. It wasn't cut. It was pretty much in original form. I had all the parts I needed. Now I have all the extra parts that I need, just in case anything ever goes wrong. Then the other thing that pisses me off is, how the hell do you remove all the brake lines and not have them by it anymore? How do you remove the clutch lever, the brake lever, all those things, and not have them in the box? Tear down the whole entire bike and you're missing bolts. I can't even explain this right now. I gotta slow my breathing a little bit, because this gets my blood cooking, guys. I mean, if you're going to take something apart, take it apart in a manner that someone else may still be able to put it back together. Taking something apart for yourself and knowing that you're going to put it back together, okay, I can understand. Maybe you're not going to label everything. But quite literally, what pissed me off the most is the fact that I had all kinds of bolts. I had bolts that didn't even match the bike. I had bolts that I had to switch out ratchet heads and all kinds of other stuff just so I could take the bike apart and put it back together. You know, I mean, there's... Yeah. So, anybody out there, please, just label the things, or don't even touch it. If you suck at it, don't do it. Now the next thing that really pisses me off is whoever painted the frame. Painted over the original, wonderfully, in my opinion, silver that was there. So in end effect, somebody, oh, and I swear to God, somebody must have done this with a spray can, with a rattle can. Because it is the shittiest paint job I have ever seen in my life. I mean, the second that just a teeny tiny bit of brake fluid got on the paint, it ate the paint away. It literally ate the paint away. And I don't get it how if you're going to do a project, you know, don't do it cheap. Don't skip out on the stuff that in the end it's just gonna look like shit. You know, I mean, I get it. If it's a project just for you, then do it. But don't do it if you're going to end up selling the bike. It leaves a bad image of the previous owner and the guy who did the job on the bike. And I have no respect for people like this. I mean, that guy messed up so badly that I would almost want to take his license away to drive. I'd take all his tools, because whatever he did, he messed up on it. So I'm the one now trying to figure out over the last couple of months where every single bolt went, you know, why the wiring harness was cut in the first place. I have no idea. You know, just open cut wires. So if I actually needed to do some major repairs, or actually have to rewire everything, it would be great to know what I'm looking at. But since this is actually not the fact, it kind of pisses me off. And then nothing was labeled. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I had to figure out which part of the wiring harness was the back side, the front side, and how it was laid out. You know, it's tons of work. And I spent quite a lot of hours searching this stuff, because where are you going to find it? Also, on the topic of buying new parts, you really should consider that if you are going to take a bike apart, that you keep the original parts. And this guy has a death wish, because there's usually police sitting around the corner. You know, because some of those parts aren't made anymore. No one will ship them out anymore. No, they're not going to be sold by Kawasaki. So, for one part, I actually had to go ahead and search until somebody, one of my good friends, actually the guy I bought the bike off of, actually had the part laying around and could explain to me what the heck I needed to look for. So luckily he also did find a part later on online on eBay, which I could then install on my bike, which is fine, you know. But I spent literally 3 weeks looking for this teeny tiny part, and it, you know, nobody's going to make it anymore. Please, people, when you take something apart, you know, label the darn things. Just label it. And man, I don't even want to get into of all the things that were broken that I had to search for in order, or even figure out a way to fix them. I still have parts which I still I'd consider buying new, but for the little amounts that are broken, it's just not worth it. So I got a little bit of fiberglassing to do, and all kinds of stuff actually. Right now I repainted the side skirts. It's the little things, guys. I mean, it doesn't have to be the nicest looking bike. You know, I mean, granted, I'm riding a GS 500 right now. It's not the greatest looking bike, but if you do the little jobs, you know, I mean, then okay, it's going to look good. This bike is my workhorse, basically. I ride this every day, in the rain. I've ridden it in the snow by accident because, well, it started snowing out of the blue. Wasn't supposed to. You know, it's just it's my everyday bike. But if it's not your everyday bike, or even if it is your everyday bike, you know, just the tiniest bits that you can make look nice on a bike, that doesn't go with an abused look, or you know, it's always worth it. And the moments that you have new paint on your bike, or you just replace the chain, stuff like that, that is literally the moments I live for, and it's probably also the moments most bikers live for. It's just that moment of accomplishment, I guess. And with this bike, with the ZX, literally I cannot wait to go ride it on the open road legally. Up to this point, I've only been able to drive it my driveway, which is basically just a couple of feet. But it rides good, so, you know, something different. But anyways, leave a comment down below. Subscribe. Let me know what's on your mind, and hit that like button. And we'll see us next time in the next video. Maybe you guys will have some things that you would like me to talk about. Like I said, please comment down below. And yeah, enjoy your weekend.